Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your September reading. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate for all of you. You can always check your other placements for other messages, your sun, moon, rising, or beginning, whatever placements you have that are significant in your chart. But if you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. I'm grateful to be here. I'm happy that you're here too. Let's get started, Sagittarius, with your overall energy for the month, the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is describing you setting something up for success. This feels like the setting up of a project, perhaps a new job, a business. You may be setting up a new home, an office, particularly if you work at home, and you're preparing your services, you're connecting with others in a way to best maximize information about your services to a less familiar community. You really want to grow and expand who you are and your base of operations so that you are of service to a larger audience. And this setting up entails looking at resources that are available to you, perhaps colleagues, connections, networks, um, uh, staff members, as well as ideas about what you would like your project, your business, your organization to look like, how it would serve people, what models you admire and that inspire you. So this is really an exciting time that requires a little bit of waiting as you put your feelers out there, as you connect to people, as others perhaps invite you into some iteration of a project that you're contemplating. There's a lot to consider, but there's a lot of anticipation. In the beginning of September, we have the Star card. There is something going on for you fire signs. You're the only ones that I've done so far. The star is really about your North Star. This is the vision, the bigger vision that you are glimpsing of your place in the universe. This sometimes has to do with your notoriety as a part of a message, an organization, a project that you are working on. You may be in a position to give presentations, to start a blog, to begin writing or marketing an idea to audiences in a way that is very believable, that gives you that credibility, that makes your project attractive to others. You may be the front person in talking about something that you're trying to get going, moving around to a variety of possible or potential partners, and talking up your project in a way that is attracting attention, positive attention to you. This is a little bit of the anticipation of what you're setting up. The more and more that you can describe it to others in uh, a practical framework, the more real it becomes. But it's also is allowing you to frame your project in terms of values or principles that you are aspiring to. This isn't just about what you're doing or what you're contemplating doing, but uh, the impact you want to have on the world. In the middle of September, the Sun card. This is about a sense of real happiness, relaxing into who you are, your authentic nature. This is you tapping into a sense of joy about who you are and your ability to recognize the abundance in the world, to take joy and pleasure in being creative with the resources around you, and to bring that joy and positivity to others who work around you. So, through your ability to talk about what it is that you're planning or what you're proposing, you actually are finding a sense of comfort, camaraderie, warmth, drawing that attention to you, being innocent, open, honest, relaxed about your presentation in a way that reminds others that you are truly in a place of joy. This is truly who you are and what stokes you. And that sense of pleasure that you are feeling about being on this positive path of service, of making an impact on the world, about sharing information that others need in not a toxic, positive way, but in a way that really helps others, inspires others, is really others see your sincerity and they see your joy. In the end of the month, we have the Magician. Wow. I have a Sag rising and a few planets in Sagittarius, so this feels really momentous to me that you are building up to this place of authentic expression of who you are, that this isn't something that precedes the work that you've done to identify your values, to gain hope uh, over what may have been a very difficult experience in your life. There may have been some real challenges that preceded this moment for you, but that through your ability to continue to pursue hopeful opportunities, those things that inspired you, those things that reflect who you truly are, relaxing into who you really are, identifying that your gifts give you the pleasure and happiness that you may have pursued in a variety of ways in the past that were less satisfying. You're now in a place of understanding what precisely it is that you're bringing in this business, this project, this organization, this presentation, what it is that authentically expresses you, what you can build as a result of your will. So my sense here is that you are gaining the sense of authenticity, of awareness, of expression that empowers you to recognize the positive impact you can have on the world. I'm going to pull a Soul's Journey Oracle card and ask you, Sagittarius, that if you're resonating with this reading, that you like this video, share it with others, subscribe to my channel. That is always helpful in terms of helping me stay here and continue to grow, but also I always enjoy hearing your thoughts. And I have pulled the Happiness card. That seems entirely appropriate. And it reads, I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. I don't think I need to say much more about that. That's incredible confirmation. And it also sings to me about how Sagittarius, so often viewed as very positive, uplifting, cheering others on, encouraging, that there's an aspect of happiness, authentic happiness, that has been born out of a tremendous period of hard work, suffering, and for some of you, deep change that has required you to dig deep for decades. And I am talking a little bit about the Pluto transit that has just touched back down into Capricorn, and in a couple 10 weeks we'll be finally moving into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So this is a kind of last gasp of all that you've learned in the past 17 or more years about who you really are. And I pulled the sacral chakra, the key, the gemstone or crystal pictured here is the carnelian. And the key words are letting go. Letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it's the first step towards success. That really feels reflected here. The letting go is the release, the let down from so much suffering, which has become for some of you a kind of norm. Uh, One thing after another, not being able to catch a break, just one challenge after another, coming before you, testing the depth of your courage, your strength, your ability to stay even, to be available to yourself. You have gone through an entire lifetime of challenges that now you are allowing yourself to release, to let go of. Having done that, you are now stepping forward in a really positive and hopeful way. I'm clarifying the star card in the beginning of the month with the Ace of Swords and the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, of course, is a repeat, and we've talked about this already a little bit, but the Ace of Swords is really describing the sense of revelation and illumination that you've experienced through your deep alignment with more hopeful, more positive values. Your sense of, I want to say, magic has been restored. Your faith in miracles has been restored, ironically, by the incredibly grueling and massive challenges that you have overcome. Through along the way, despite the crawling forward rather than the leaping forward into progress, into growth that is more customary for you, Sagittarius, being someone who knows a lot about a lot of things or a little about a lot of things. You have really had to crawl, claw, and salvage uh, the best qualities that you can now own from a sense of experience and principle, so that your truth has really opened you up to a new experience of the world that stems from the sense of authentic happiness, not cheerfulness, not cheerleading, not being positive, not turning the other cheek or being disinterested when things don't work out, or escaping when things get hard. So you have really come to a new sense of your own truth, and that is moving you to a tremendous sense of personal justice. So it would not surprise me if the injustice in the world is really particularly galling for you, very difficult for you to see. You're always, in some ways, amazed by the depth of oppression, injustice, unfairness that exists throughout the world in any environment. The Three of Wands, again, is describing this is all just part of the setup for a new business, a new enterprise, a project that gives you a chance to turn your service toward new audiences, new arenas of activity, finding new customers, clients, or just allies and collaborators in your effort to move towards this beautiful North Star of hope and of an ideal vision for your life and for the impact that you can have on others. I'm going to clarify the Sun in the middle of the month with the Temperance card and the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is really a card that I do associate with uh, almost, not foolhardy is not the right word, but this overly almost toxic optimism that can encourage someone like you to keep doing, keep charging. It's almost, I'm seeing Don Quixote charging at the windmills, right? You just keep prodding and charging and running at the wall without necessarily, in the past, perhaps learning from the efforts you've made and changing your strategy. And I do see that you have now understood that the strategies you used in the past were not successful, but you haven't given up. That you're now in a place where you understand, I'm very close to victory. You're very close to achieving something that is dearly significant to you, that means everything to you. It's something you cannot give up on, even if you wanted to. And this is being echoed by the Temperance card, which shows your efforts to achieve something, to accomplish something, have cycled through your life in a way that has necessitated your growth. And this growth, in many times, is through suffering, through rejection, through a storm, tornado, the towers, repeating the same, making the same mistakes over and over until you finally begin to recognize patterns, and then working at those patterns by taking responsibility for your reality, taking ownership of your actions and your part in any failure or disappointments that you've experienced. This is not easy. This is not fun. The Temperance always looks so beautiful, the grand alchemist, but this is really grueling work to refine oneself. In the end of the month, the beautiful Magician card is clarified by the Two of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Because it's describing the magician that exemplifies this very clear creative will, I do this as an expression of who I am and the resources I have at my disposal. I know how to successfully combine these things in order to create something that is successful, that is abundant. The Two of Wands is showing how long you have thought and sat on this decision, how long perhaps the opportunity has felt available to you, or perhaps your experiences in the past trying to create or move towards this vision in a way that is actually successful. It has been hard to pull yourself from a past of perhaps failures or disappointments in this particular regard, so that you, what's coming up is that you are actually now in a place of not simply trying the same old thing over and over again and getting the same results and expecting it to be different. You now understand better, you're more experienced, you have a clear idea of what it is you're trying to achieve. And in that way, you're clearer about the way forward. As you contemplate, propose something that you're putting forward for the future, a way of presenting your ideas for others to participate in this success, in this growth and abundance. In the At the end of the month, the Eight of Swords is also describing what you are moving against. This indicates a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of old stories are pouring through you about your attempts to achieve this in the past and what happened, what failed, who you blame, what you're mad about, who you resent. All those stories are part of you grasping the lessons that you've learned from your attempts previous. However, in trying to milk that wisdom, you are in some ways re-traumatizing yourself. You're giving into worry, to anxiety, to overly concern about every detail, every step being the right one. And there is no such time, place, approach that is going to be just right. What is just right is you're letting go of these circular thoughts, this anxiety, this worry that does not impact you in any way except to exhaust you. And instead relaxing into your intuition, which already knows everything that you're doing, has already prepared for it, has already uh, designed a plan that you're simply trying to tease out with your current resources. You're just pulling out the threads of what you know from your intuitive wisdom is the next step for you, is the best way forward. Out of all the choices, all the colleagues, all the collaborators, all the information, you know which ones are just right for you when you relax into who you are now and not concern yourself with the past, except to know that you're prepared, you're ready. I'm going to finish up this reading with a couple more oracle cards just to frame the month of September, and I have the card Peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. That's a tall order, but actually, I believe you're doing it. I believe you certainly have the will to do it. You certainly have the inner sense of joy, of being enough, of being privileged in your ability to enjoy and utilize all the prosperity of the earth, and that you have a vision. You've always had a vision, but it has become clear now. And your work at clarifying that, sharing your process with others, not hiding how you came to this place, but that's something that attracts others, your sincerity, your authenticity around what it is you're proposing to do. These are the things that bring peace and allow you to release the negative energy. And finally, I'm going to pull another chakra crystal wisdom. I really should look up the name of this small oracle deck. And I pulled the throat chakra. The throat chakra, of course, is the means by which we express ourselves. We give voice to our expression, our being, our ideas. And the gemstone on the surface here, I can't even read what that is. Oh, it's turquoise. One of the gemstones associated with the heart, the throat chakra, all lighter shades of blue. And the key word is truth. Speak from your heart. It is the only thing worth listening to. So perfect for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.